Hello, welcome to my channel. This channel has been set up as a platform for my musings about what I see in relation to business and what's going on in the media, how the media reports on business, and what you can read between the lines, because the way the media report on it will inevitably be different from the way it is on the ground. So I just thought it would be interesting to have a place where I could muse about this and perhaps interact with some other people who similarly notice some things. So I hope you enjoy. So one of the subjects I want to talk about today was the conflict beginning to arise between Airbus and BAE. These two companies, very large aerospace and defence companies, obviously Airbus European, BAE principally the UK, but also has a lot of operations in the US. And ostensibly they're both going after a contract to eventually replace the Eurofighter Typhoon, which is a fighter jet used by many European militaries and some also in the Gulf. Christopher Jasper, who is the transport correspondent at the Daily Telegraph, has written today, the 16th of January, and he writes that Airbus's CEO, Guillaume Faure, so I guess that's French for William, basically outlined the issues with two contrasting programs at odds with one another. So BAE obviously has the Global Combat Air Program, and Airbus has the Future Combat Air System. Again, these are both programs principally designing a fighter jet to replace the Eurofighter Typhoon. Eurofighter Typhoon's getting a bit old now. You may have seen in the media in the past few weeks, again, as of recording today on the 16th of January, that the Eurofighter Typhoon production line was slowing down as it was coming to the end of the line of the current orders that it had, until an emir from Qatar, I believe it was, visited and put in a new order for a number of other jets just to keep that line kicking a little bit longer. Now, BAE's plan of attack is quite interesting. They have a joint procurement plan alongside Italy and Japan. So I think that joint procurement programs are typically unsuccessful, although I have talked to some equity analysts and they believe that actually they can be quite successful. I was raising the example of the MBT-7 and as an example of how it doesn't work, and then the contrast was given to me with a number of Airbus platforms that are cross-nation and actually work quite well. So I kind of embarrassed myself there, but it was still a good conversation to have anyway. Now, there's also been rumours that the Saudis want to get involved in this plan, and I'm not entirely sure how likely that is, considering their human rights record and the current administration in the UK. I do not think that a Labour government will be particularly favourable for the Saudis getting involved in something as strategically important as the next generation fighter jet for the UK and potentially for export markets into Europe and what have you. I think that whilst we recognise that Mohammed bin Salman is clucking to diversify the economy away from hydrocarbons, I don't think that Keir Starmer will take that cherry offered in the sense of lots of cash given towards the project by the Saudis. But again, we'll have to wait out on that. We'll have to wait and see. So watch this space. Similarly, if Japan and Italy, or rather when Japan and Italy work with BAE, they will have their own industries that will be able to take over and run some of the manufacturing. So, for example, Japan has Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, and Italy has Leonardo. Again, these are both, whilst you all might recognise Mitsubishi as a car manufacturer, they also manufacture ships, and Leonardo manufactures helicopters alongside a range of defence equipment. So two stalwart defence businesses there to be teaming up with BAE. But how has this been viewed in the media? That's the question. That's what we're here to discuss. So again, the Telegraph has presented this as being quite adversarial between the two. But I think it's interesting we can contrast that with the Times, who lead that in fact this might be a viable way of going about things, and that they might make complementary technology, and eventually these programs might merge, which I can probably see happening. But in the immediacy, yes, I can definitely concede the point that the Telegraph raises regarding 2 programs might sap defence budgets. Although in a time when defence budgets are rising anyway, not sure that's too much of an issue. But again, we'll have to wait and see on that. These 2 differing positions are contrasted in a third way by the Financial Times. Sylvia Pfeiffer, very good, very well-known industrial journalist at the FT, writes that William, again, French spelling of, or Guillaume, forgive me, William, chief executive of Airbus, basically says that their program should essentially merge with BAE's program. And it's interesting when you look at the countries that are running it. So Airbus, again, is typically it's a European conglomerate, but it's principally founded out of French and German companies, whereas BAE, again, principally English. But interesting to note that BAE has merged with, or rather is in a joint procurement program with the Italians. So within Europe, you've got an Anglo-Italian axis against a Franco-German axis. So interesting when you're thinking about European politics, industrial strategies. You know, it's just something that really interests me, and hopefully it interests you, and hopefully that's why you're happy to hear me waffle on about it. But anyway, I digress. So Sylvia Pfeiffer at the FT, she basically says that, or rather, she reports that Guillaume stressed that it would make more sense were these 2 separate plans to join together, as it would be cost effective, although respectively each government will not want that to be the case, because they want lots of the manufacturing to be going on in their countries in order to maintain high skilled jobs and investment and have the option for foreign export, rather than, you know, the current mode of some Airbus manufacturing is they build wings in Wales and fuselages in France and engines in Northern Ireland, and you know it's all over the shop, which keeps everyone happy, but it's pretty inefficient. But again, when you're going up against, as Airbus is regarding civilian aircraft, Boeing aircraft keep falling out of the sky. So, you know, what do you want? You want a little bit more rigmarole about putting the aircraft together, or your Boeing aircraft falling out of the sky? I think I know where my money is on that. Anyway, that's all I've got to chat about this evening rather. This is my first video, so hopefully you'll stick around and hear a few more. Yeah, if you have any thoughts, let me know. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.